Okay, bro, we're live, except we're not live.
We're not live. We're faux live.
Bro, should we stream on
You're
Twitch?
editing this. No, thank you. I'd like this podcast to be edited before it goes up. Um, yeah. Because I have a few questions.
Okay.
One of course being where can I find the girls podcast?
I'll send you the link to the channel when we're done.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, and now, since this is the first time we've recorded this podcast and we haven't had technical difficulties whatsoever, I
Yeah,
will
of
now
course, yeah.
tell this one story that I haven't told before yet.
hmm
That my friend, how should I refer to you?
My name is fine.
Okay, and same here. You
How
just
do I
call me
refer to you?
Hamzah Ham, whatever.
Do I
Hamzah
tell
Ham,
people
I don't
your
know,
real name?
whatever. Yeah, I don't really care.
Oh, okay. No, you're okay, yeah.
Dox me, bro. Yeah, I'm just gonna say they. Oh shit, I got doxed, man.
Oh no.
I now they know that they can narrow me down to about a few million people around the globe. Oh no. In any case, like um, when you get all those like best of all time, and it's like Tetris is number one. I think that's a bit bullshit, man. The hell? Like
Okay.
seriously, because
Explain yourself.
they consider they do the entire series. They consider it one game, which is stupid because everyone on the like shitty Russian computer that whoever the fuck made it on is way different from Puyo Tetris. Clearly, Tetris has changed a lot since it was originally a thing. Still not enough that you can think it's like a different game per se, or at least a different gameplay. Um, but it's the difference is kind of like you know how like Mario, right? Mario has like a lot of different platformers,
Yeah.
but they're all essentially platformers. They're still like running and jumping, and you can kind of see the. It's like that,
Yeah.
but with Tetris,
Okay.
where like stuff's been added to the Tetris formula, but it's still the same basic thing. However, you never really get all of Mario together to be one singular game. You always consider their individual game releases as individual things. They don't do that for Tetris. But then I think this opens up an interesting conversation with what about games that have been like, let's say like Minecraft, right? Minecraft is the second best-selling game
hmm
according to them, but is really the first most best-selling game. But like for example, Minecraft of 2009, the Minecraft of 2009 is very different to the Minecraft of
Yeah.
2019. Like fundamentally, there are big differences between these two. They have the same core gameplay, but if we compare beta to what are we on now?
1.16.
Minecraft version 56 or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, that's what I meant. They're wildly different in
hmm
a lot of ways. So, uh, should I consider them the same game, different games?
I mean, well, seeing as
Are the people who are buying
Notch
beta
got
buying them
banned
for the
from
same reason?
Minecraft.
Hmm?
You know how Notch got banned from Minecraft because he was
Uh,
because
did he get banned from
he didn't
Minecraft?
get banned from Minecraft, but like Mojang want nothing to do with him anymore because he was being cringe on Twitter or something.
No, he's just like a really weird, like QAnon, like kind of JQ kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
It's just weird. Pretty talking about him. There was this funny
Okay,
thing
but
where
like he's
uh,
okay. My point
oh,
is
yeah,
right. He's at least banned from Minecon.
yep,
Right, and so
yep.
dude, it's just okay. Never mind. It's just not the same game. You've got
We
dude.
don't
I
have
don't
a
know where I'm
we
going
don't
with
have a
this.
Swedish bro. It's not the same game. We don't have a Swedish racist working on it anymore. What the fuck? Damn, bro, not the same anymore.
What is
But
it?
yeah,
Isn't this just the
he's
classic?
not.
Is it still the same ship, even if you replace all the parts?
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, ship of Theseus. True, true. Well, the ship of Theseus is stupid. Who
Why
cares?
is the ship of Theseus
Uh,
stupid?
because I feel in any instance where you can bring it up, like for example, let's say this Minecraft example, right? You could
Okay.
argue it's a ship of Theseus type thing, but what I would argue is that on some level this doesn't matter. It only matters on what people perceive Minecraft to be, right? People
hmm
perceive the Minecraft of 2009 to be the same as the Minecraft, or to be the same game as the Minecraft of
Yeah.
now. Um, but with something like Tetris, I imagine if I were to actually they would say no, these are different games. That enough has changed, but whether or not the degree at which either of them have changed is more significant than the other, I don't think matters. I think it's more about just people's perceptions rather than the physical amount of changes or anything like that. Basically, human perception wins. Stupid philosophy, get out of here, is what I'm saying.
So would you agree with me when if I say so? It feels to me like philosophers are just kind of inventing dumb questions to keep themselves in a job. Really? So you
Uh,
know, your cool boy what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he like began to study philosophy or something, but then he was like, hang on a minute, this is cringe. Everyone's just misunderstanding language. That's why it's philosophy exists. What is his name?
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
bro, this is a very pleasant pineapple. It's this guy.
True. Yeah. Oh, oh, of course, this guy.
Ludwig
Ah, how could I forget
Wittgenstein,
on him?
yeah.
What's going on behind my words when I say, this is a very pleasant pineapple?
Oh, Wittgenstein. Oh, that's a guy like I've actually heard about. Never mind. Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, he's pretty cool. And also true. Then again, I feel like if I think about like the importance of philosophy today, it's like philosophy is always talking about like morality and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
different like ethical systems, and like if you like for example, that could be important in the realm of like law, for example, because law is just codified morality.
Yeah.
So you kind of need different ways of looking at morality in order to base law off of it. Now, whether or not we need more thinking, I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe what we have right now is cringe and stupid. Who's to say? But yeah, I think that's. I guess also, so unfortunately, I'm kind of in political circles, and what this usually means is that they half of their debates are just philosophical debates about let's get our axioms grounded
Yeah.
first, and then it gets nowhere. So they're very fun. So I guess if you care about that kind of stuff, it's useful. I don't know how effective that is in anywhere outside of two people arguing on YouTube to an audience of like 1,000 people. Well, yeah,
See, but then it
cringe
kind of
subject.
in
Get
that
rid of it.
situation, it feels
Yeah.
like it kind of just becomes a battle to I don't know manipulate, take control of the paradigm and manipulate language. There's no like in that
I mean, yeah.
case, philosophers delude themselves by thinking they're actually doing something.
I mean, ultimately, I think with that is it depends on what level the viewer is at, though. Like,
That's
if
true.
you're like a proper if you're like intellectually like big brained in
Mm-hmm.
philosophy, then I suppose you can engage with it on an intellectual level and kind of understand their arguments. But
Yeah.
if you're just a common like layman, like most of us are, then it is more of a display of, um, I would say, optics, or not optics. Maybe that's not the right word, but more like spectacle. You know,
Yeah,
who
that's a
who
good way of
sounds
putting
like
it.
they're more right. You know,
Display of
like there's a lot
spectacle.
of ideas that sound better, but maybe if you are like a proper philosopher and you actually understood like, or actually this moral system leads to contradictions here, 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 and here, and blah 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 blah, then you know. But most people can't expect most people to be philosopher PhDs, you know.
That's true, dude.
Surprisingly, hmm, crazy.
This feels like a big post truth pill, bro.
Pretty much, yeah. Post truth, man. Post truth. The thing is, though, like post truth, man, it just makes so much sense,
It
you know. Like,
does, and it like
yeah, it's like man.
it solves its own problems as
No,
well. Kind of. It's just post truth, you know.
pretty much, pretty much. This is the the king philosophy, all right.
mm.
Um, we can shut it down. We've already done as much as we need to. That's all. Even still, I still think philosophy we can keep it there. You know, if anyone wants to go into it, in the same way that like I don't know, there's a lot of courses that might be completely useless. I don't know, underwater basket weaving. That's probably not going to be pretty helpful. But I still think if people should be able to go do it, I guess, you know, something,
What
whatever you want to do, bro.
are you, when you say useless courses, are you talking about these new courses that they just seem to invent, like the esports course we saw? Were you there?
I
I
have
think.
seen the esports course before. Someone's shown it to me. Uh, I think our mutual friend has shown it to us.
Ah, okay.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah. No, I think when I say useless, useless is obviously very relative. I think when I use it, I tend to think about how much usage can you make of that degree, or like how many ways can you go with that, right? So
Yeah.
like something with like let's say uh, just out of the blue, right? A computer science degree. Like you can go into a lot of stuff with something like
Hmm.
that because there's so many different areas within that field. Meanwhile, with esports, I feel like you could only really go into esports and that's it. And the worst the thing that's kind of cringe about esports is that it is very much like there's a very limited amount of places, I
Hmm.
feel. So that probably makes it even worse of a degree. You might be educated in esportism. I guess saying that, I suppose you can become one of those like team trainers or whatever that like train other people to become like esports boys. So I guess there's like that. But that's what I feel like. That's it. You have like that and that. Like, what other transferable skills do you have from like an esports course?
Well, I think
I
the
mean,
other
I don't
thing
want to say too much.
when I
Yeah.
say a course like that is useless, I think what I mean is that it feels like a very ineffective way of getting that information,
Ah. Hmm.
and
Okay. Yeah. Then
it's
in that
kind of a
case,
waste of tuition fees as well.
yeah, I feel under that framework.
So I've also I think you know
There
how
goes my profession. Yep.
oh
Hmm?
you know
I was
how
just saying, like most people just do
yeah,
Code Academy, you
okay,
know.
yeah, that's true. Oops. So you know how
No.
you have your cool
Mhm, yeah.
STEM subjects, and then all of a sudden they're like put art in their STEAM.
Yeah, Steam courses.
So I think I figured out why that is. It's because those are like the actual useful courses, and so they've introduced all these dumb courses which are just uh they're just like industry, the stuff you would have used to learn in your first week on a job. You now
Here's
learn in
here's
university, and so
here's what I wonder though. Oh, sorry.
they need to
Mm-hmm.
differentiate them. So that's why we've got why art is included with STEM.
Mm-hmm. But here's my thing. Cause you hear about Steam or whatever, but
Yeah,
I don't. Is it really actually used anywhere? Because like for
that's true.
example,
Yeah.
I was looking at the UK's cool new points immigration system, and when like the degrees they most value are STEM jobs,
Hmm.
specifically STEM jobs, not STEAM, STEM. And I feel like in a lot of other areas, people are valuing STEM job, not STEAM jobs. So I feel like this whole STEAM thing isn't really getting off the ground anyway.
You're
Like,
right.
it's cool to
I've
promote or
only ever
whatever,
seen it
but
in school assemblies.
yeah. Also, the thing, if I don't know if I feel like mixed about STEAM or whatever, because I feel like in certain like technical degrees, there is still like a level of creative thinking involved.
Yeah.
Like problem solving in of itself is a form of creative thinking. You have to find a new solution to a problem that doesn't exist. Um, it's just um, I don't see like necessarily the relatedness between art and STEM fields in the same way that, for example, there is a very strong link I feel between something like computer science or engineering or
Yeah.
physics and maths. You know, like art, I can see some crossover, but not much. In fact, I would say this. All right, philosophy has more of a crossover. You'll notice in a lot of universities
Yeah.
that no. Like no. You'll notice a lot of universities do combo courses with computer science and philosophy because both of them promote heavily like logical thinking
Yeah.
stuff, and a lot of philosophy majors tend to find it pretty easy to cross over into transferable skills between the two courses. The only real difference is one has used more computers than the other, I guess. Which I mean is definitely quite interesting. It should be Speem, Spateem.
Hmm.
We
Would it
can
be
make
fair
a
to
good, we can
say
make a better one.
what you're saying is
Steam.
kind of the difference between like art and
Mhm.
design, I guess. Like they can include much of
Um,
the same things, but the purpose is very different. Design, you're well, yeah, I suppose it's just problem solving versus creativity focus, I guess.
yeah. Actually, I think if you want to like talk about art and design specifically,
Mm-hmm.
because I did DT
Yeah.
in GCSE, and I'm currently doing an NEA now for computer science, and I do genuinely feel like a lot of the skills I got from designing a product in my DT class transfers pretty heavily into my computer science project now. That I feel like a lot of the skills that I gained transfer over. Now, I don't know if that's specifically a design technology skill or just generally just project management skills,
Can
but
you
there's
give some
definitely a
examples?
crossover there. Anyway, so there's with the computer science project, there's a very similar structure when you're tackling it, where it's like analysis of your problem, which
Mm-hmm.
includes kind of breaking it down, looking at existing solutions to your problem, thinking about how you can iterate upon them. The design, which is obviously about thinking about how you're going to solve it, what you're going to use, what languages, what data structures, stuff like that. Your actual implementation, your testing, and your evaluation. But one of the big things is that a lot of people in my class, what they will do is they will code first, write up later, which is a very bad way about going things. I mean, if you imagine if you're doing your DT project, if you made your product and then post hoc did all the analysis and design, bit silly, bit silly. But by doing the
Right, not
analysis and
gonna lie,
design
bro.
first,
In most of my projects, I
yeah,
do that. Um.
yeah, but you're a cringe moder, my dude.
Oh.
I
Ah.
personally find it much easier to. I personally find it much easier to have thought through everything and kind of gotten all the things I'd need to know
Mm-hmm.
beforehand before jumping in. Because otherwise, what happens is that you don't really know that much. You're just gonna go do it anyway, and then you get like stuck all the time. Which is why the reason I know this is because I had two separate other projects I was working on before the one that I finally ended up using, and the biggest fault with them is that I never researched beforehand, so I'd run into like massive problems and I'd have no idea how to fix them. But this time, I was able to scope it out beforehand, such that I knew I could do everything, so that I wasn't stuck when I was doing my implementation. That's the big brain play.
See, okay, I think that maybe in my case that doesn't work because I find, like, for one, I have real difficulty uh fully expressing the ideas I have in my head. Um, and I
Mm-hmm.
often find it's when it comes to implementation, you're always going to face problems no matter how much planning you do. And I find it's impossible
Mm-hmm.
to preempt the problems I'm going to run into. So I usually just solve them in implementation. But I suppose the trade off there I'm doing is when I'm implementing, I am focusing on things like keeping a clean
Mm-hmm.
code base and
Mm-hmm.
making stuff modular and
Um,
things like that.
mm-hmm.
So I suppose
Uh,
different solution to the same problem.
yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Can I take you on a massive tangent real quick?
Okay, fine. Take me on a massive tangent.
Okay, you said one thing that made me think about this, and it's like that you had a hard idea expressing like the ideas in your head.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching this one YouTuber, the other like it's like a month or two ago, and they came up with this thing called like a neurotyping chart, right? And it was
Okay.
like their sort of answer to a lot of this like ENPJ
Mm.
whatever 16 personality test type stuff. But his one was very specifically about how people process stuff.
So
So on
you
the one
cut out that how
axis,
people process stuff.
how think and
Okay.
process stuff. So on one scale was the ability to express one's like ideas clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other axis was like single track mind to sort of multiple threads sort of mind, you know. Um,
Is this?
and I
I've
think it's
just
a really
googled this. Is
interesting
this
way to.
linear lateral lexical impressionist type thing?
Correct.
Ah.
But yes, correct. but I believe the YouTuber I watched, I think her name is Digine or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the first one I saw it from.
Okay.
Uh, and it's a really interesting way of I
Yeah.
think thinking about human minds, you know. Because like for example, we have a good friend of mine. His name is Pioneer Shark, right?
Oh
If
yes,
I were
I
to
know
think
him.
about, for example, so if I were to think about like the ways that, for example, he thinks about things, I would say that he very much is a one-track mind who finds it very difficult to express what he's thinking, and thinking about
Is that
people that
is
way.
impressionist is the hard to express? Oh yeah.
To be honest, I don't remember all the words.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But in any case, I feel like that explains though so much about, for example, a lot of the struggles that maybe it comes during like communication. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Okay.
Um, like the communication. Like for example, uh, I think you've noticed, right? Whenever like he's confronted by someone, like a teacher, for example, on answering a question, he will like struggle quite a lot, and
Yeah.
it oftentimes is that kind of specific thing where it's like very hard to explain himself alongside uh, what is it, the one linear like thought pattern, I feel.
Is Pioneer Shark uh like somewhere between pure instinct and clear sighted?
I do like to think that, yes,
Because like
I do
his
genuinely think
if you
this one.
actually sit down and try to listen to him, his everything he says is well thought out but not well spoken. I guess his ideas are
Yeah,
well
yeah,
thought out and
yeah.
they're quite
And it
insightful
doesn't help
sometimes.
that people. Yeah, and unfortunately, it is often the case that people purposely kind of take what he says out of context,
Yeah.
or like try to bad take a bad faith interpretation of it, which I think is something that a more impressionist person would kind of sort of suffer from more, since they can't as clearly sort of indicate what they're thinking about. Um,
Where would you
so
say you
yeah,
are?
like where would I say I am? I think on the linear lateral scale, I'm higher on lateral. I
Okay.
very much always thinking about all the different threads that connect to what we're talking about. So that's why we've got here, for example, because I was just thinking about it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
popped into my head while I'm also thinking about other things. And I definitely think I'm not linear because there have been times where like I've been dumbfounded by the fact that our friend Pioneer Shark, like I'll think, wow, just do these two things at once, and he'll say like, no, that I just can't. That no, impossible. So I'm definitely not near the bottom. I know that much. I would say probably maybe in the second to top row. I feel.
Okay.
And in terms of lexical to impressionist, I think I think I can do an alright job explaining. I don't think I'm like really good at explaining my thoughts. I know that much, but I don't think I have a hard time explaining. So I guess it would be quick-witted or overseers on this chart. I would imagine somewhere around that area is where I think I'd personally put myself. But
Hmm.
again, with a lot of these tests, it's more about where others put you. I feel, you know,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
you think you know yourself, but everyone else knows you more, or something like that. Something to that effect. Like for example, where do you think you'd put yourself?
I think I'd put myself about the same linear lateral, maybe a bit
Mhm.
more lateral, and definitely a lot more impressionist.
Okay, so here's the thing where I disagree with you. I don't think that you have a hard time explaining yourself.
Okay.
I think it's the way that you explain yourself that makes it hard for other people to understand. Like I feel
Well, bro, aren't those
like
the same thing?
no, it's not like I feel like it's not an like I think there's a difference between explaining yourself on the level of like what everyone can understand,
Hmm.
but but also in a way that people who like are more knowledgeable about the subject can understand, like in a more academic way, I imagine. So like for example, you
Okay,
could
yeah.
I think it depends because like to someone who's more academic and understands kind of the field in which you're talking about, you would make a lot of sense. Like you'd be very like lexical to them, but
Yeah,
to
okay, I
everyone
see, I
else, you'd
see.
be very impressionist. So um, I think in that sense, you're very clear, but clear to only a specific audience. So perhaps this graph is too simple. It needs more axes.
Yeah.
At least
There's
99 more
kind
axes,
of
I feel.
it depends on kind of the relative positions between two people,
Mm,
I guess.
yeah.
Would you say
I
I'd
also
say
think
you're
I kind of.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Bro,
No,
you've just
okay, you say your thing.
no, you've just no, what's the word? You've usurped all my thoughts, and I don't know what to think now. I'm reconsidering my worldview.
Okay,
This is great.
I'll go. Yeah, no, I feel like there's like a fault with a lot of like not binary thinking, but a lot of these simplifications. Like,
Yeah.
say I think a very simple one to kind of like the difference between an extrovert and an introvert. Like, I feel like there's a lot of circumstances where you can be extroverted in some sense, in like some groups of people, and
Hmm.
introverted with a lot of other groups of people. Now the words extrovert and introvert have been wildly mangled,
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
I
its
would agree.
original.
I've noticed
Now
that
I would say
myself.
that it's a rich. Yeah. Now I'm the kind of person who thinks that if a word has changed meaning, then that's what its meaning is now. If people
Yeah.
believe in introvert to mean shy, then that's what it means now, rather than whatever it meant before, which is like, I don't know, draining from social experiences. Uh, but I feel like, for example, that sort of draining thing, I feel for someone like me, like, sure, it might be more draining if I'm in an environment where most of the people there are people I don't know, because it means therefore that I don't really have much to do. But if it was someone like if it was a group of my friends, then it'd be much more extroverted. So I think again, this sort of way of thinking about things of like I'm solely this or I'm solely that is a bit of a silly way to look at these things. And I think that's a lot of these like tests and stuff kind of reinforce that way of thinking, you know? When it really you have many masks and you assume them depending on what context you are in and what context the receiver of whatever you're doing
Bro,
is.
are we going
Yeah.
into social scripting theory?
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I think that
I only know it from. Mm.
I've heard two versions. One of them is I can't remember what philosopher or whoever is the mask thing, and then the question is, can we ever know the true self? And then a slightly different one is the paradigm and well, there's different quote unquote scripts in different situations, and a large amount of human behavior is just following those pre-existing scripts, which are uh learnt and
Mm-hmm.
what's this the cool word that bro, I've forgotten my political meme words.
That's all right,
I need
bro.
to watch some Dreg. What's the
Nah,
word?
man.
It's like based, but it means it's a spook. Yes, social scripts are a spook.
Ah,
Damn it! I
mhm.
can't believe
Yeah.
I
So
forgot that.
so I only thought of the masks because there's like those memes where it's like Japanese people think have this idea of people having many faces, one that you show to the world,
Oh yeah,
one that you show to friends, and the one that is inside of you, which is the meme where it's like big chungus or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
that's the true reflection of yourself. Yeah, that's where I got it from. Anyway, I'd like to wrap this up kind of quickly
yeah,
because I kind of gotta go eat. Um,
yeah. This is a good time. We're
any
getting to half
final,
an hour.
yeah, any final
Well, I
memes
was
that we
kind of
have?
wanting to get based, and but we don't have time for that. So
No based, no based.
no base. Next time, next time.
Well, no,
Okay.
next time, yeah.
Right, to finish up, we must perform meme review. Um,
Oh, meme review. Okay,
all right. I need to find memes
meme
that I
review with
grabbed.
Ben Shapiro.
I need to start getting.
Yeah.
I need to get prepared. Dude, right.
Mm, don't worry.
You have a
Just
very
hop
high
on Reddit or
level of
something.
memery, don't you? Right. I'm just
Sure.
gonna go on math.
Yeah, why not?
No, I'm not gonna go on math. Okay, dude.
Maths memes.
Right, we're going on Okay Body
Just,
Retard.
bro, just show the image of the E derivative, man.
um.
uh,
Okay. Right. Here you go. Please
oh.
rate this meme.
Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not postcode. Do not collect 2,000. Well, you see, you have to understand about this meme. Is that it's pretty funny. 9 out of 10. You thought I was gonna go in depth and review this meme and go into like the secret meanings behind it, but no, it's an okay buddy retard meme. There was no thought put into this. It was a fucking like shit post.
um. Okay, can you review the meme I made, please?
Okay.
1 second.
You know, one time I made a meme and I got 800 karma.
Nice.
That was God. I hate technically being a redditor, man. What the hell? Oh, okay. Give me a second.
Hello, Macapaca. What are you doing today?
That was pretty good. Do you know about what this shitpost status thing is? Why?
So
Why are they all called this?
I know a little bit because I watch Meme Historian, and so it started in the
Mhm.
Spanish. You know how there's a big Spanish meme sphere. So
I
originally
mean,
it
there's a
was
big Spanish audience in general.
it
Yeah.
was a shitpost para status, like meaning shitpost to put on
Ah.
your like status or story or whatever, and it's become this
Mhm.
now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
That was
cool.
pretty good.
Please subscribe to my
Put it
new
in the
channel.
edit. Please
I will.
subscribe to his new channel. Yeah. Okay,
Bow
that's
of the
it.
rods. Yes.
I need to go eat now. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks
Thank
for
you for
coming.
coming to my podcast, guys.
Have a good
Thanks.
day.
Bye.